I got sober 9 years ago, and I kind of didn't really know what I wanted to do in life, and I'd spent a lot of time in coffee shops when I lived in New York, and I thought to myself, the opportunity came up to learn how to make coffee, and I took it, and the rest is history. My name's Fergie, and we are a local coffee shop in Dennistoun. So the shop's been open for 3 years. It was 3 years old in November 28. So basically my story with coffee started, I worked for a couple of guys that opened up a coffee shop, and I fell in love with the whole process of making coffee and the vibe I've been in sort of inside coffee shops, and you know, Glasgow's coffee scene was sort of up and coming, and I went down to London, went to Old Press, I learned how to make coffee, and I worked for another guy for about 2 years. I built my way up during lockdown. I was in a shop 60 hours a week on my own, really busy, and then this shop here came available and we came and seen it, and my whole family came from this area. So I was like, this is, you know, it just felt right. I just felt like this is the time to do it, and we grabbed the shop, and it just keeps getting better and better. The reason we picked this location is because my dad was from here, my granddad was from here, my gran lived round the corner, my cousins lived round the corner. So, you know, I spent a lot of time in Dennistoun as a kid. I'm from the East End, but my whole family are specifically from this area. You can come in, by the way.
Sure.
Aye, you're fine, aye. We fucking end up dying over there, mate.
You don't want to take one.
Like, where's that guy went out to get a coffee? He's dead. So my business partner, Alistair, he's really into wine, and when we opened the shop, we were like, what do we want to do with the business? You know, I'm really into coffee, and then we opened up the general store, which is selling, like, you know, fancy pantry bits, and then we applied for the licence. Also, the main reason is that Dennistoun's lacking that. You know, the East End doesn't have somewhere that if you want to go and buy a nice bottle of wine, there's nowhere to go. I mean, the West End's got loads, the South Side's got loads. The East End's it's almost like that little bit of forgotten pocket of Glasgow, which is mad because it's the best pocket in Glasgow. So we use a baker called Wheatbury. He recently just won the best croissant in Scotland. So yeah, we don't, as you see, the shop's pretty small. I'm not a baker, and you're better letting the pros do it. Like, the almond croissants are incredible. Everything that they do is incredible. They're one of our best partners. We're really happy to be working with them. You know, like, amazing. I used to live in London, and I lived in Dalston, and Old Press, I've got a roastery in Dalston, so I went there every day for a coffee. And still to this day, I drink coffee with milk, or I drink a black coffee, and the beans are a nice blend. Goes great, it's chocolatey, it's nutty, very well balanced. And I think that's one of the big main parts of our success, is that it's a really, really good coffee that goes dead simple with things. So there's me, and we've got 4 amazing staff. They're incredible. We've got Tess, Kirsty, Tom and Scott. I definitely think everybody's got their own individual strengths, but I think the big part of this shop is that we're consistent with customer service. You know, everybody's on the level that when you come to Daily, they're made to feel welcome. You know, it's like the customers are the most important part of this business, and that's implemented through all the staff. Like, the world's changed so much in the last 5 to 6 years after COVID, and I think customer service, you know, like, people want instant gratification, but if you're in a local neighbourhood and you're going into a place every single day to spend your money, I think it's important that you feel like you're valued, you know, and people can see if you can see through the crap, you know. It's like, so we value our customers above everything else. Everything else after customer service for me is secondary. Long-term plans and goals for Daily is we'd like to open a second shop location in Glasgow. You know, I'd love to open a shop in Manchester, London, and the big goal would be opening a shop in Japan. We did a pop-up in Tokyo in October there, and it was like a dream come true. So doing something like that's life-changing. You know, that's exactly where I'd like to be in the next 10 years. So the connection in Japan is that All Press have a roastery in Tokyo. I went out there last year and I met the guys out there, and they're incredible. I was going back to Tokyo this year to see Oasis, and they asked if we wanted to do a pop-up, and it was like, you know, it was an incredible thing to be part of. Very well received. What I think sets us apart from everybody else is probably the customer service, you know. I feel in the coffee game that a lot of people come into coffee shops and they feel a bit like, you know, they're a bit nervous entering the shop. You know, baristas sometimes give off the wrong impression. You know, sometimes you go in and there's different blends and pour-overs. We're not that shop, you know. We do a good flat white, a good black coffee. It's being part of, you know, you can come into this shop, it doesn't matter if it's your first time coming into a coffee shop or you're somebody who goes into every coffee shop in Glasgow. You know, you can walk in here and feel like you're not going to be judged. You know, it's being part of a community in the East End, and that's important to us. So we're open 7 days a week. I believe that you get 24 hours in a day. You can do it within 24 hours, you know, it's 1 day at a time. And I think it's a great name for a coffee shop because you have a coffee daily. Years ago, Dennistoun, like I lived here, my first ever flat was on the Parade, and there was nothing really here, you know, and in the space of the last 4 to 5 years, you've got 3 or 4 really good coffee shops. My mates have opened up a pizza shop called Frank's, great. You've got Mesa, a great place for brunch. And if you're coming to Dennistoun, I think it's like, in the south side, there's loads of stuff to do in certain pockets. Same with the West End, you've got Finnieston, you've got Kelvin Grove. But Dennistoun seems to be like you've only got Duke Street or you've got the Parade, and we're kind of in this little corner. And you need to come and find us. You know, there's still people locally that come to the shop and go, we didn't know you're there. I like that. You know, it's not as if I'm putting myself out there. You need to come to our shop. I like the fact that we're a little bit of a hidden gem, and, you know, come and visit us. It's like, Dennistoun's great. You know, the people in Dennistoun are brilliant. You know, there's a really good sense of community here. And I don't think that's ever changed from the first time that I lived here, or even when I was a wee boy and my granddad used to take me to the butchers or the bakers. It's always been a good sense of community in the East End. I think one of the biggest problems in Glasgow is funding. I don't think the money's getting spent properly, you know, for young people upcoming who maybe want to start a business and take a risk. You know, we get no help doing this. We did this all on our own. And I think it would be good to see councillors or the local government help invest in young people that have got ideas, maybe like yourselves, you know, guys that are coming out here to do content, or young guys want to start up a food business. I think so much opportunity in this city to try and make it better for the people that live here. You know, it doesn't seem to be enough money getting spent on the things that are right, and the East End's a perfect example of that. So it's good to see guys like yourselves willing to come into the East End and do content like this for local businesses to try and get us out there and maybe help others who have maybe got an idea and they're maybe a little bit scared of doing it. So yeah, I think that the East End's the next area that's going to be up and coming, and people have said that for years, but I love the East End, I'm an East Ender, and I love Dennistoun.